Everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back on my channel. Today's video is going to be kind of a unhaul with like a mini bookshelf tour. You're going to see it when I'm going through all the books that I'm getting rid of. I thought I would just do both at the same time. I am planning on doing like a bookshelf like reorganizing video. Let me know if you're interested. I might as well film it. So let me know. I'm probably going to be doing this next. And I thought I would do an unhaul video. I love unhaul. I feel like they're very like cleansing. I need more space on my bookshelves because I have 2 bookshelves from IKEA and they're getting very, very full, like too full for me to buy new books, which unacceptable. So I wanted to make some space. So some of these books I just didn't like. Some of them I just got new edition. Actually, not true. The ones that I did that, I already got rid of the other edition. So I got rid of like the darker shade of magic, which would have been very shocking, but it's just because I got the hardcover to match the other ones that I have. So those ones are already gone, but I have still with me like 30 plus books that I'm planning on just getting rid of. Some of them I just didn't like. Some of them I liked, but I'm not planning on rereading. Some of them I just liked okay, but I need more space. Basically, that's the whole reason of the unhaul video. So I hope these books will make other people happy. I am gifting them to my library because that's where I buy a shit ton of my books because they're like 25, 33 cents and I want other people to be able to enjoy it and the money goes to my library and then, you know, circle of life basically. So let's do this. I'm gonna group series just because I might as well. They're together. They might not be together on the shelves, but you know. The first thing I'm getting rid of is the Hunger Game trilogy because honestly I liked them. I didn't like the last one, but I liked the series. It's just that I don't think I would reread them, and if I did, instead of watching the movie, I would probably just get them from the library, but I just don't need them on my shelves. They're taking space and I'm sure someone else would be happy to have them. Oh hey you, what you gonna do? Feeling in a weekend kind of mood. Don't even try staying at home. I know you're a bad girl trying to be good. Looking so high, looking so fine. Baby, for the night, I want you to be mine. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I feel like I was kind of in the minority because I did like it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I also watched the movie, didn't really care for the movie. It's just that all the characters, actually, not the main character. Well, the main character is an alcoholic, but all the characters are super dislikable. Like, you just can't like them. But I kind of found that fascinating because I feel like usually in books there's at least one redeeming character. Not here, which, I don't know, it was kind of predictable. But again, I don't think I would reread this. Thrillers, unless they're really, really good, I just... But yeah, again, there's the movie. The movie seemed fairly similar. So if I was in the mood ever, I would just watch the movie. So this one is going to hurt. Are you ready? This duology is popular actually on BookTube, but unfortunately just really wasn't for me, and it is this duology. The first book is The Wrath and the Dawn, and the second one is The Rose and the Dagger by René Adier, and this is basically a retelling of 1001 Night and then, you know, things ensue. But I wanted to like this. Obviously nobody buys book hoping that they're gonna hate them, but this just really wasn't for me. I didn't really like the in the first book, the love interest. I understand why some people liked it, but I think it was like very problematic. And the second one, I think I wrote the most pity review I've ever wrote, because basically it consisted of Sherazade is so beautiful. Like, she's so pretty, but like she can't shut up ever, like in the right moments, but she's so pretty. So it's all okay because she's pretty, 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 pretty. I swear this is like half the book. I know there was way more fantasy element in this one than in this one, which I did enjoy, but I couldn't get over how the only thing everyone always noticed like right away from her was that she was pretty. And it just... I'm actually planning on giving this to someone else who I think might enjoy them because it just wasn't for me. I don't want them on my shelves. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This is a like video game type of book, like in a dystopian world. If you are someone that was alive and you liked like movies, TV series, or video games of the 80s, this is something you're probably gonna enjoy. It wasn't my case. I think it was okay, but again, there was so many references that I just didn't get that
meh. But the main reason I'm unhauling it is just because I know someone is going to be actually really happy to like find this. So they might as well get it instead of me because I'm not going to reread this. There is a movie, I'm planning on watching it, but there's no way I would reread this.
We're going for a ride. Oh, we're going for a ride.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt. I really wanted to love this book. I really tried, and it is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is a like fantasy, almost like fairy tale-esque type of book where the main character is being taken away by the dragon who, spoiler, although not spoiler since it's happening in the first chapter, is actually a magician, not really a dragon, which first thing I was disappointed about. And she learns magic, which is exactly what I loved. Like anything that's like school setting or just magical, I love, but I could not get into it. The writing was beautiful, but just kind of slow and like fairy tale-ish, which sometimes I like it, but in this case, I think I was mainly pissed with the magic system, which was just not my type. And I really hated the like love interest. Like I just could not stand it. So unfortunately, this just wasn't for me. I DNF'd it at like 240 pages, which I rarely do, but I just can't get back into it. And I think I'm just gonna pass this, and I think someone else will like it a lot more than I did. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. This book I gave 1 star, which I don't do often, but this was basically pretty much all I hate in a book. It's an adult contemporary, but it read like a YA love story. And you're following, what's his name? Lincoln. And Lincoln is like the whole image of like the loser. He's like, he plays Dungeons and Dragons, like he lives with his mom, she makes his lunch, and he works as an IT guy that's super like a loner. But turns out he actually has multiple degrees. He's like really tall, he's handsome, like everything you want in a guy, and like he basically stalks the girl reading her email. And like there's a love story there. That would never freaking happen. So no. I really hated this book. I finished it, but I like wanted her to be pissed and she just never was. I don't get it. I would have been really pissed. I would have called the police. Just saying. The most confusing book I've probably ever read was this one, Elation by Jeff Vandermeer. This is something you're gonna either really like or like be super confused. I think the majority of the people were really confused with it. I read this last year during like the whole like season of horror, and to its defense, it's kind of scary some bits, but it's mainly confusing. You're following a group of people that are sent to Area X where people have been like disappearing, or like they come back and they're like not acting like normal, and it's just so freaking confusing. You just don't know what, like I read the whole thing and I was like, I have no idea what happened, like no idea. So it's a trilogy actually, and I'm not continuing for sure. I have another book by Rainbow Rowell, and I'm considering reading other ones of her books because everyone is telling me, oh, try at least this one, try at least this one. But I mean, at one point I probably will have to give up and just admit that her books are just not for me. I know they're really popular on BookTube, but I mean, can't love everything. I want to get rid of Fangirl because I didn't like this. I thought it was boring. It was really like long to get through, especially the fan fiction sections. I did like some bits of it. I liked how the main character is suffering from anxiety. Definitely thought it was very realistic. I feel like very often mental illness are just not portrayed like realistically. I did like this. I love the family relationship. She's going to university and her twin just wants to live her own life, so separately. But I hated the relationship, like the love story. I just was not feeling it, and I didn't love it. So I think I'm gonna, once again, actually I got this at a library sale for like 25 cents, so I think it's time for me to just, you know, send it back and someone else is going to be happy to find it there. Next, I'm getting rid of Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. I love her like shopaholic, Confession of a Shopaholic series. I read a couple in French growing up and I really did enjoy those. But this is it her first YA book? But I didn't like it. You're following a main character who is suffering from I'm assuming PTSD after like something traumatic happened to school, and she just stays home. She's always wearing her like sunglasses. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves in like tropes, especially in YA. The main character falls in love and all her issues are solved, which it's so unhealthy to portray things like that. So I really didn't like it. Unfortunately, I just don't want it on my shelves. So I'm just gonna say though, all the books that I'm getting rid of, I'm noticing so many are like really nice colors that were really nice on my rainbow shelves, and now it's ruining everything. But even though I want a rainbow shelf, it's not worth keeping the books. Like, no. This book I actually did not read, but after reading another book from the author, I'm kind of like, this is Armada by Ernest Cline. It's the same author as Ready Player One, which everyone says that that one was better than this one. So since that one I just found okay, I don't think I would enjoy this one. I love the cover though, and it's like breaking my heart to get rid of it. But I know I'm not going to read it, so I might as well just pass it along. But damn that cover.
So won't you come on out with me, forever young and free.
The Selection by Carrie Cass. At this point, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I read the whole series. It happened. Let's pretend it didn't. But, I mean, there's a lot of issues, but I'm sure someone's going to be really happy to find this. And I have to say, that cover is really, really, really pretty, but it's not a good reason enough to keep it. Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This makes me feel like an asshole every time I look at it. And even though it was really pretty as a spine on my rainbow shelf, I didn't like this. I gave it a pity 3 stars, and I shouldn't have. I probably should have been given like 2. It's a middle grade book where you're following August, who has like a really intense facial deformity, and he's going to school for the first time, and obviously kids are kids. They can be assholes and they just bully him. And that part I was fine with, and I could actually really connect with the sister. That's all I remember. I think the ending was completely ridiculous. Like, there's no way that would have happened. I know it's to teach kids to like empathy, but it was just really not realistic. So then I am getting rid of Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I've heard just so many things about her writing and her relationships in books that I know this is not going to be for me, so I might as well not torture myself and just get rid of it. Let someone that would enjoy this find it.
So won't you come on out with me? There's no place I'd rather be. Together we'll escape deep into the night. Just do whatever that feels alright. So won't you come on out with me?
I'm getting rid of The Help by Catherine Stockett. I did actually like the book. I do like the movie. They're a little bit different, but still fairly similar. I liked it. It's just that it's taking space on my bookshelves, and I don't think I would reread it. Living Dead Girl by Elizabeth Scott. This book was really good. I'm not getting rid of it because it wasn't good. It definitely hurt my soul. You're following a girl that was kidnapped by basically a pedophile, and then she's now a couple of years later, and she's getting like too old for him type thing. I'm not sure I would reread it, which is why I'm getting rid of it, but I think I gave it like a 4-star. It was heartbreaking. It is YA, but like, whoo, this is like heavy stuff for YA. So if you're looking for a great book that would be like something that would hurt you inside and just break you in little pieces, I would read this. But yeah, I don't think I would reread this. My heart would not be able to take it. Oh, the next book. I'm Unhauling Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. I tried to read this last year and I DNF'd it at like 100 and something pages. This was painful. I know a lot of people are like over the whole like dystopian society type of books. I'm not. I still love them. But this one was just so not for me because you're following a main character who lives like, she's part of the Uglies, and when you hit like 16 or something, you go through like a whole process of like plastic surgeries where you become a pretties. I just could not stand reading that character complain one more time saying she was so ugly. I understand that it's probably part of the process of like, you know, she changed her mind and blah blah, but I just, no. I feel like this one is going to be a pretty unpopular opinion, but it's okay. I'm getting rid of Everything by Nicole Yoon. You follow a main character who is allergic basically to everything. She stays home, and I did enjoy reading a relationship with her mom or with her nurse. I love that she loved book, and like the whole beginning felt really nice, but then there's a cute boy that moves next door, and you can kind of tell where this is going. It was just not realistic, like some of the actions she took, and honestly, I saw the ending coming from the beginning. And again, I didn't feel the chemistry. It was just so classic YA love story. Nah.
So won't you come on out with me? Oh, hey, you, what you gonna say? I just wanna take you far away.
Confession of a Murder Suspect by James Patterson. This was something that people were just leaving books at work that they didn't want. I grabbed it because, you know, free books, and I read it like last summer before I started BookTube, and I didn't like it. Once again, hated DNFing books, so I read the whole thing. I just couldn't connect to it. It's my first book that I've read from James Patterson, and I'm not sold. You're following like multiple kids that are adopted by wealthy, smart couple, and I don't know if they inject something to them or whatever. They are making them like super smart, and like there's a murder that happens, and like I really didn't like it.
Don't go to sleep, staying in bed. Gonna pick you up, so be ready to play. You're looking so hot.
The next one is gonna break a lot of people's heart, but I didn't hate it. It's just that I don't know. I'm getting rid of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This one I debated quite a bit because first off, it has a really nice spine, but I don't think I would reread this. I love the circus, like the description, and like I love the competition between the two magicians of like, you know, like it wasn't against each other like directly. It was like creating like things in a circus. It was really beautiful, but it was a little too slow paced in parts, and I just didn't connect to it as much as other people. Like I know so many people that say this is their favorite book ever. Isn't my case, so it's probably why I just like, I feel like I would just unhaul it and someone else would find it and fall in love with it, but I don't think I would reread this. I'm having trouble unhauling it, but I think it's for the best, because if I really want to reread this, which I doubt I would just get it from the library, but I know someone else would love to get this. I was so disappointed with A Wizard at Artsy by Ursula K. Le Guin. I love her writing, and this book you're following, like it's a YA fantasy series where the main character basically learns magic, which, I mean, if that's not the best idea ever, I don't know what is. But I just could not connect to the story. I hated the magic system once again, and no, I'm not continuing. The next one was kind of a fun experiment for me because I read The Giver by Louise Laurie, and I read this in high school when I was trying to learn English and honestly did not understand anything. So I kind of just wanted to read it again and just see what the actual story was about, because I had no clue. I did like it, but again, don't think I would necessarily reread this, so I'm just gonna pass it on, and maybe someone else that needs one for school will be happy to find it for cheap. This was one hell of a disappointment. I read A Tale of Two Cities, but this is the graphic novel version, and I was like, this is brilliant. I wish it was an option, reading classics in like graphic novel version, so you can just have a little bit of an idea what it's about, and then if you actually love it, you can just go and like invest the time and energy in reading the classic. No, this was such a fail because turns out I didn't understand anything of what happened in there, and I didn't even really like the graphics either. It just felt really flat, like, and it's the first graphic novel I've read since starting my channel, so it was like I was trying to try new things, but clearly I wasn't meant to. Wolf in White Van by John Darnielle. Didn't like the writing, DNF'd this like not even halfway through it. It was just boring.
Looking so fine, baby, for the night I want you to be mine. We're going for a ride. We're going for a ride.
I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lure. I read this book last summer before I started my channel, and like literally there was like just a couple of pages left, and I realized I have actually seen the movie. How did I read 400 pages before realizing I've seen the movie? I didn't really like it. Once again, I liked the idea of it, but I didn't love the love interest, and was just okay, so I'm not planning on continuing. The next two books I read like 2 or 3 years ago when they were really popular on YouTube. I am part of the beauty community, I have a beauty channel, and these were like popular there too, so that's why I picked them up back in the day. You have Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham and Sally Hug, Pretty Honest. Hated this one like so much, and I finished it, which I used to just never DNF books, but this was just such a fail. And Pretty Honest, I liked the beginning, but then it kind of got repetitive and kind of boring, so I also finished it, but I would never reread this. The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I feel like Neil Gaiman's writing might not be for me. I feel like a lot of people like it, but it's kind of the same thing as The Night Circus or Uprooted. You know, it's kind of vague and like fairy tale-ish. Clearly that's probably just not for me. In this one, that was basically my biggest issue, following a man that goes back to where he grew up, and then he ends up going to the house at the end of the lane where he used to be friends with someone, and then there's a lot of like, not necessarily magical realism. I think it's more like fairy tale-ish, but I don't like when like magic systems are like super powerful, you control the whole planet, the whole universe type thing. And I kind of had like that type of feeling there, so I do have some of his other books on my shelves, but ever since reading this, I'm kind of like not really into reading them. I'm still gonna give them a try eventually, but just not in a rush. Nerve by Jane Ryan. I read this book, watched the movie. Both of them were okay, but so different. I was kind of disappointed with it, but I don't think I'm gonna reread this.
Won't you come on out with me? Forever young and free. So won't you come on out with me?
Next one is Schizo by Nick Sheff. I liked it okay, like it wasn't bad, it just wasn't something I would ever reread. I do like the cover, which is making me like want to keep it, but I'm not doing that to myself. Like it's one of the only covers with like a face that I actually like, so. But I need the space on my shelf, so we say. So that's it guys, this was my unhaul video / mini bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be now emptying my bookshelves and reorganizing them, so you probably will see that video soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books, what you thought about them. Did you love them? Did you hate them? Do you like unhaul videos? Because I love them. I can't stop watching them. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and to subscribe to not miss any future ones, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
There's no